Good evening and welcome to our third live public participation evening. Tonight, my colleague Bradley and I are here to tell you all about the coming fibre rollout in your area. Later, we'll be opening the chat to you guys so that you can ask all the questions that you may have regarding the coming rollout. Bradley, over to you.
Thanks, Nat. Again, we're super excited to be hosting our third virtual public participation evening, but we're more excited to engage with the community of Welkom and show you what the aerial fibre rollout is going to look like, and also just show you a little bit more about who eVotal is and what we plan on giving back to the city of Welkom. So let's dive straight into the presentation and show you a little bit more about who we are. eVotal has been connecting community since 2015. We're an open access fibre to the home network, delivering stable yet uncompromised fibre networks to all homes in the city of Welkom. We're an open access network, and what that means is we onboard as many ISPs that wish to join our network. At the moment, we have 17 currently providing data services on our network, and this allows the freedom of choice to all residents that wish to sign up for the fibre service to their home. We are currently in talks with onboarding the likes of Welkom and Cell C, but we also are open to onboarding as many local service providers that wish to also provide a service in Welkom. So we look forward to also onboarding a few of the local companies. Our line speeds range from anything from a 5 megabits per second line up until a 1 gigabytes per second line, allowing you the freedom to choose the right speed and package for your family's needs as well as your own. The next slide is then just to give you an indication of what the benefits of an eVotal area fibre rollout is, and it's something that we pride ourselves on and stick to. And one of the main positives of an eVotal aerial fibre rollout is faster network rollout times. Because it's above ground, we are able to deploy extremely quickly, meaning that we are able to get the city of Welkom up and running using the service a lot sooner as well. From a security point of view, it also gives residents peace of mind, knowing that contractors will be in and out of your suburb as quickly as possible, and you can go back to normal living. Maintenance and repairs is conducted extremely quickly. Because we have 24-hour access to the network, the case of damages or maintenance to the network, we're able to deploy a team rapidly to get the repair done. We don't have to apply for emergency way leaves as we have 24/7 access to the network. So we have an average uptime of 99.96% on our network. So extremely efficient and quick to repair anything that's damaged. Obviously with fibre, we provide lightning fast yet stable internet. Fibre is the fastest form of internet available, and we're excited to finally get you connected to something that is going to change your world. The next thing that is a major benefit is the freedom of choice when choosing your ISP. This creates a competitive environment within our network where ISPs are competing for your services, meaning you get the best price, you get the best customer service, and you ultimately get the best experience on the fibre network. And that ultimately reduces your monthly costs because you are able to get a fibre package for cheaper than an ADSL package would cost you, or an LTE package in that case as well. So you can save a lot of money on your fibre internet and spend it where you possibly need to. And one of the things, and we've left it for last, is the most important thing from our rollout is we provide every school with a free fibre connection, allowing students to access this network and use this network to the best of their capability and be successful ultimately in their school career. That's something that we pride ourselves on. We do it in every build that we ever roll out to, and we've identified 16 schools within our rollout already that we'll be contacting as soon as the build starts. So one of the biggest benefits of our fibre rollout. The next slide is then just to give you an indication of what the Welkom network build timeline is. We've broken it down into phases, which we'll share with you on the next slide. But usually when a build starts, we start with an expression of interest survey, where we engage with as many community members as we possibly can. However, during this period that the country is going through, we've had to try alternative ways. So we've tried to engage with community members using email campaigns, WhatsApp groups, SMS campaigns, as well as you might get a phone call from one of our accredited sales partners just to also inform you of the rollout and find out if you have any questions or if you would possibly be interested in having fibre brought to your suburb. The next thing is we host an evening similar to this, where we explain the rollout, we interact with the community, answer all questions that you might have, and ultimately just engage with as many people as possible. Once we've hosted this evening, we then start with the actual prepping of site to start build. What that entails is we start marking and repositioning of additional poles that we're going to need to add during the rollout. You'll see that there will be an indication made on your sidewalk of where we propose to put an additional pole should the need be to put a pole up. And then this allows you the time to then interact with us should that location not be suitable for you. We then send a project manager out to site to come and engage with you and find a suitable location that will not cause an inconvenience to you during the rollout. Once all of that is out of the way and everyone is happy, the exciting part starts and we start building, and you'll start seeing us actively opening up small trenches, putting new poles in the ground, stringing fibre on existing infrastructure, and ultimately getting you guys up and running as quickly as possible. Once the build is complete, we then host another evening similar to this, where we invite everyone of the community, ward councillors, municipal managers and staff members to come and interact with us again regarding the rollout and to raise any concerns that might be there before we sign off. Before we sign off, we then attend to all of those queries and concerns, and once everyone is happy, we sign off the suburb, we make it live, and we start getting everyone connected to the high-speed broadband network. As mentioned, we've broken the build down into 3 phases. The reason why we've done that is just so that we can have a more structured approach to the build. The first phase of the rollout will be these 3 areas: St. Helena, Nordville, Jan Cilliers Park. That is in plus minus 2,400 homes that we will be building in the first phase. We then move on to second phase, which is Doorn, Bedelia, and Sandania, which comes up to plus minus 3,200 homes that we will be building. And then the last and the biggest phase that we'll build is towards the end, which is phase 3, which includes Jim Fisher Park, Welkom Central, Dagbreek, Lakeview, CMU Park, Flamingo Park, and Rates Park. And that's a total of plus minus 4,900 homes. And in totality, we're looking at connecting 10,500 plus homes during this Welkom rollout. Obviously, these phases are usually broken up into roughly around 2 months per phase, but that's all dependent on the build and how smoothly the build does go. It could be sooner, but we usually stick to roughly 2 months per phase. As mentioned, we're an open access network, meaning we have a variety of different internet service providers on our network. At the moment, we're proud to say that we have 17 incredible service providers on our network, providing the end user with the best service and packages possible. This allows you guys to go onto our website, select the ISP that best suits your needs from a price point, from a customer service point. So I would encourage you to go and do a little bit of research on our website, start interacting with the relevant ISPs, finding out what separates them from everyone else. And if you're ultimately happy, going with the package with them and getting the ball rolling so that we can get you installed and active as quickly as possible. Again, this creates a competitive environment within our network, meaning if an ISP specifically doesn't give you good service, you are able to switch to another ISP at any given time. Obviously, there are terms and conditions that the ISPs would give you as part of the contract that you sign with them, but you do have the capability of switching to another ISP should you not be happy with the service. You can upgrade, downgrade your line with these ISPs, so it allows you the flexibility to make sure that you're getting the most out of your fiber connection. The next main thing that we give back to the community, and it's something, again, like I said, we take very seriously to ensure that this rollout benefits everyone, not just in the present moment, but also in the future. And one of the things that we do is we provide provisioning of fiber to selected camera node spots, which we work closely with the municipality, the relevant CPFs, SAPS, policing forums, ward councillors, where we get an indication of where your hotspots are. These are usually at substations, at schools, municipal offices, but wherever it's deemed a hotspot, we provide fiber to those spots. Our trusted camera partners will then provide camera nodes with CCTV cameras, which are enabled with AI technology, meaning we can actually proactively keep the city of Welkom safe. We use the poles within the suburb that we plant to also put these cameras on, one of the added benefits of an aerial fiber network. And we then at the end of the day give a free security feed to the local municipality and SAPS and policing forum so that they can use that to keep your suburb and your community safe. We then offer the same service to local security companies if they wish to add an extra layer to their security that they provide the community of Welkom. So one of the things that we're super proud of and extremely excited to bring to the city of Welkom. Then the next slide is a slide just to show you what our previous rollouts have looked like. The first picture, you can see the two lovely gentlemen opening a tiny trench. This is a trench where we need to plant an additional gum pole. As you can see, we do not have to open the entire sidewalk or driveways, meaning minimal disruption to the community. And ultimately, one of the benefits of an aerial fiber network is minimal disruption to current services that run underground. We do not want to put a community without water or electricity, hence why we have chosen to go the aerial route to ensure that you are not there's no cause of damage to services that you need on a daily basis. So the trench is extremely small. We make sure that the pole is securely put into the ground. We use a dry cement mixture with the soil to ensure that it binds properly so that there's no risk of that pole ever falling over. And if there is an issue where the pole is slightly loose, we then send a team out to ensure that we secure that pole so that it doesn't cause any issues going forward. The next picture is just to give you a view of once the area is live. As you can see, there are fiber cables running in the air, but we make sure that we plant these poles very close to trees so that they blend into the suburb as best as possible. And I think the middle picture shows you how well the fiber network actually blends in with your surrounding areas. So we do go out of our way to ensure aesthetically we blend in with the city of Welkom. We do our best. And again, as mentioned, if a pole is in a location that doesn't suit you or is causing an inconvenience to you, we'll definitely move it to a location that will best suit you. And predominantly, we plant poles closer to trees. And then the last photo, is just of two gentlemen stringing fiber on existing infrastructure. Part of an aerial rollout is we use as much existing infrastructure as possible and only plant poles where needed. So we will string fiber along light poles, etc., to ensure that we don't have to plant poles on both sides of the road. And again, you can see it's done extremely neat, and we ensure that it blends in as best as possible. The next slide is, as mentioned, something again that we take very serious, which is something that we've built over the last 5 years and something that we're extremely proud of. We've connected approximately 2,000 homes over the last 5 years, resulting in our network growing to roughly around 17,000 homes in the last 2 years. And we're expecting to pass another 80,000 homes in the next year or so, including and starting with Welkom. Our school initiative, as mentioned, we've had the pleasure of connecting multiple schools throughout our rollout in all the areas that we've built in and we're currently live. And our aim is to connect every single school throughout the rollout to ensure that we give learners and teachers the best possible platform to succeed and grow in the future. We then also have connected over 6,000 residents to our network, and as mentioned, we pride ourselves on our average uptime of 99.96% since going live in 2015, and something that we really hold high. And we ensure that SLA is obtained and held up by our contractors, by our ISPs, etc. We are also very committed to employing local labor. Again, one of our key focuses is ensuring we give back to the community, and one of those is ensuring that we employ as many local labor contractors as possible within the rollout of our fiber network. We support Welkom businesses such as advertising agencies, etc., to also get a lot of the stuff that we need done in the suburb. So be on the lookout if you have a company that offers the service, we'll 100% give you a call to see how we can support you as a business as well. And something that we're looking forward to implementing in Welkom is what we call Business in a Box. And what Business in a Box is we enable community members to become community champions, educate their fellow community members on what fibre is, the benefits of fibre, and also ultimately assist them in signing up to the fibre network. And we then compensate those community champions so that they can possibly earn an additional living, and it's just one of the things that we look forward to bringing to Welkom as well. Then just to speak a little bit more into our school initiative and what that means. So as mentioned, we've identified 16 schools within our rollout. We encourage all schools to reach out to us so that we can see how we can get every school connected. We obviously during the course of the rollout will interact with the schools and ensure that we communicate and get all the relevant documentation sorted out so that when the network is live, the school is able to utilize that free service. It's an indefinite service. We have some very cool ISPs that are part of this initiative that will provide the data services to that school. So as long as that school is in operation and as long as our network is up and running, that school will have free fibre internet and no cent will be paid by the school to anyone. We obviously believe strongly that we need to provide learners and scholars with the best tools and the most efficient tools to be a success within their careers in their school. And yeah, we look forward to connecting every single school that we possibly can. Next slide is just to go into some of the questions that we get asked quite frequently. Hopefully these are some of the questions that you are possibly asking in the comment section below. But we just wanted to maybe show you what some of the questions that we get asked and answer them for you guys. So I think one of the main questions is, will the aerial fibre network affect the aesthetics of the suburb? As I mentioned, we make sure that we go out of our way to ensure that it blends in as much as possible. We plant these poles, which are usually painted black. They're gum poles, closest to trees so that they don't stand out. And ensure that if there is a pole that is creating an eyesore, that we move it to a location that won't inconvenience the resident. So it's something that we do get asked quite often, but rest assured we'll make sure that you cannot even notice the network. The next thing is, obviously with the poles being above ground, are they subjected to damage during storms? And the answer is no. We've had an aerial network for the last 5 years, and we've very rarely seen any damages caused by storms, etc. Again, if any of this does ever happen in the future, we are able to repair a pole or a snapped cable within or up to 72 hours. So the time frame of repairing something like that, should it happen, is extremely quick, but it doesn't happen very often. Next question is, who pays eVoToll to roll the fibre out into the area? eVoToll is a private company investing its own money in rolling out this network, and obviously it's a risk to the company, but it's something that we see value in, and we want to be able to provide the community with the best possible internet that's available. So we roll out the service at our own risk and at our own cost. And the residents, it's up to their choice, it's their choice on whether they would want to take up the service once we are live. Once an area starts build, we put it in a pre-order phase, and if you want to take up the service, you can go and pre-order or order your installation, and we'll only install to those people that obviously place their order for the installation. So no other money gets spent, but our own money as a private company to roll out the fibre. How much do I have to pay is another question. I think it's an important question to know how much you're going to be spending at the end of the month. eVoToll provides the infrastructure that's rolled out, and obviously residents aren't obligated to the service, and the only amount that you ever then pay is with the service provider that you choose to go with. eVoToll will never bill you directly, and the pricing is determined per ISP. So again, I would encourage you to go and have a look at our pricing on our website and get a good indication of what that cost is going to be. But you're looking at spending anything between 550 Rand upwards for a uncapped fiber service. As mentioned, 5 megabits per second is our entry product, moving up until a 1 gigabits per second line. So the choice is endless, and obviously the pricing is all different per ISP. The next question, and I think it's a valid question, is Won't the fiber rollout increase cable theft? Fiber optics has no street value. It doesn't contain any metals such as copper, which is readily stolen all the time. And it's one of the main advantages of fiber. It's optics, which is made of glass. So the risk of theft is extremely low as it has no street value. So it's something that doesn't happen very often. And if it does, again, we have access to fix that network extremely quickly. Will eVotel cut down any trees in the suburb to string fiber? This is a question, again, I think that a lot of people ask us, and no, we do not have to cut any trees. At most, we would trim 1 or 2 branches, but in most cases, the fiber can string right through the tree, so there's no need for us to ever cut a tree down in your suburb. Again, we do not want to disrupt the community of Welkom and make it aesthetically unpleasant on the eye. So we 100% are committed to not cutting any trees at all. The next question is, what are the color of the cables and the gum poles? The gum poles are painted black, and this is just to ensure that they blend in with the trees, and the cables are also black as well, so we won't use any colors. It's a plain black cable so that it blends in, like I said, with the surrounding as much as possible. And then lastly, the question, what does the placement marking mean? The pole placement marking mean? Again, this is, as I mentioned before we start building, we make a marking on your sidewalk as to where an additional pole needs to be planted. And the reason why we do that is we want to give you the opportunity to reach out to us to say, listen, eVotel, the pole that you're going to be planting is not in a suitable location. Please, could you move it? And the reason we make those pole markings is so that we don't plant a pole and then it causes an inconvenience and we end up moving it. We want to be able to do that before we cause the inconvenience. So if you do see a pole marking, it's usually made with a washable spray paint that doesn't stain your grass or your sidewalk and it washes away with water over time. But if you see a marking and you're not happy, please reach out to us so that we can then send a relevant member to come and assist you and move it to a suitable location. Again, that is where we end for now, but we open to as many questions as possible. Natalie has been looking at the comment section to ensure that we do answer all the questions that you guys possibly have. We're super excited to bring Welkom a high-speed fiber network, and we look forward to connecting as many people as possible and giving you guys the best service that we could possibly ever give. So that's over to you if there are any questions in the comment section below.
Brad, you've certainly covered a large majority of the questions that we get on an almost daily basis. A few things that I just want to almost recap or let our audience know again about is, firstly, where can they see our ISPs and make their decisions regarding the internet service provider?
Okay, so as mentioned, on our website you can go and view all the relevant ISP packages and pricing. However, you can also go onto the ISP's website directly and view their packages on our network. They do broadcast on their own platforms as well. But should you want maybe someone to contact you and walk you through the journey and assist you in choosing the right package, you can either reach out to us at sales@evotel.co.za, or you could give us a call, and Nats will share the number with you at the end of the presentation so that you have it on hand, and we'll be gladly give you a call, explain the different packages that we have, the pricing, and make sure that we select the best package for you. But the packages are available on both our website as well as the ISP's website.
Perfect. Just a friendly reminder to please leave your comments in the sections down below so that we can answer whatever questions that you may have. Something that is extremely close to, I think, both of our hearts is our school projects. We know right now that things are a bit up in the air. What I would like to find out is, how do schools get in touch with us if they would like to get connected?
Yeah, perfect. I think it's a valid question. So you can reach out to us at info@evotel.co.za. You can leave your contact details. I will then personally contact you and set up some time to come and meet with you. You can show me your school, and we can then figure out what the best way is getting the school connected, and we'll give you all the relevant documentation to fill out, and then we'll get the ISP that will provide the free data services involved. But you can also give us a call. We have created a WhatsApp group specifically to answer any fiber related questions and queries. You can also leave the school's contact details on that WhatsApp group, and we will definitely contact you and get you guys connected as quickly as possible.
Perfect. Bradley, Lionel would like to know, do we throttle our lines?
Okay, so again, just to clarify, Evotel is the infrastructure provider, so we do not service the end user. We, however, do have our own support team to ensure that any fiber-related queries are resolved. But when it comes to any package-related queries such as throttling or shaping, etc., that is something that the ISPs have control over. I like to explain it as Evotel provides the highway, and the ISPs or internet service providers provide you with the vehicle and determine how fast you can drive on the highway. A lot of the ISPs, because of a fiber network, they do not have to throttle or they do not have to shape, but that's something that I would encourage you to take up with the ISP that you choose. Give them a call, find out a little bit more about what their package offers are, and whether they would throttle or shape you at all, but in most cases it's not the case.
Sorry, I'm just checking in on a question here. Quibus would like to know, when does installation begin?
So as mentioned, one of the first things that we do also before we start with the rollout is we identify what we call POP locations. Those POP locations will be identified, we build the POP, and as soon as those POPs are live, as soon as the network in your area has been built, spliced, tested, and connected back to the POP, we can get a community up and running. As mentioned, each phase usually takes 2 months to build, test, splice, and get connected. So we usually work off of anything between 8 to 12 weeks just to be safe before you can start utilizing the service.
That's pretty fast if you ask me.
It is definitely fast.
Quibus would like to know, because we cover single dwelling units, do we also cover complexes? And if so, how do we get the complexes involved in the installation?
Most definitely. As mentioned, we want to connect every single person in the community of Welkom. We cover both single dwelling units, so your freestanding homes, but we also cover complexes. We have a special team that actually meets with all the relevant body corporates within complexes in the rollout. If you do reside in a complex and you would like us to get you connected, again, please reach out to us so that we can set up the relevant meeting with the relevant body corporate or members, and we will then submit plans, etc. And while we're rolling out the network, we'll also build within your complex. So we 100% will service both SDUs and what we call MDUs, multi-dwelling units.
Fantastic. Well, by the looks of things, Brad, you've covered pretty much everything. Cool. So I just want to thank everybody for joining us this evening, and that if you do have any additional questions that we may not have covered in this session, please leave them down in the comment section below. We will get to them. We will make sure we answer you 110%. Alternatively, you can visit our website at www.evotel.co.za. You can pop us an email at info@evotel.co.za. Or you can give us a call at 0860 386 835. Thanks again for joining us.